What a week, Steelers Nation. Big questions, big matchups, and some serious pressure building as we head into Week 8. The energy is high, the fans are buzzing, and the Steelers are preparing for a massive Sunday night football clash against the Green Bay Packers. Before we dive into today's breaking updates, take a second to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the latest Steelers news, updates, and analysis. Now, let's jump into what's really going on in Pittsburgh. Today, we're diving into some burning questions from Steelers fans all over the nation. The first one comes from Bernard, who asks, "Do you think the defense can bounce back this week?" Honestly, it's a great question, and one that's been on everyone's mind. I believe they can, but the real question is, will they? The Steelers' defense has all the talent in the world, but right now, it's more about adjustments than ability. Lately, we've seen too much straight-up man coverage, which leaves the middle of the field wide open. When that happens, opponents exploit it again and again. The Steelers need to mix things up, bring in more zone, more balanced coverage schemes, and less of those risky blitz calls that expose their safeties. It's time for Mike Tomlin and Teryl Austin to take a hard look at the tape and make the changes everyone can see are needed. Because if this defense can tighten up those gaps and play smarter coverage, there's no doubt they can still finish the season as one of the top units in the league. So buckle up, because if adjustments are made, the Steelers' defense might just remind everyone why it's one of the most feared in football. Stay with me, because the next update could change the way you see this team going forward if the Steelers can bring together a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense when it really matters. In January, this team becomes dangerous. The kind of dangerous that no one wants to face in the playoffs. Because when Pittsburgh finds balance, they can beat anyone. That's how teams win Lombardi trophies. Not just with talent, but with timing, toughness, and trust. But here's the truth. The defense must find its rhythm again. That's the missing piece. Now, Justin Watson brings up an interesting point. He says this should be a match zone team. And honestly, he's right. The Steelers have the players and the IQ to pull it off. But for some reason, they've leaned too heavily on straight man coverage this season. The problem? That approach has left them exposed to rub routes and quick throws, the kind of plays that kill momentum and keep your pass rushers from doing their job. When quarterbacks are getting the ball out in under 2 seconds, your defensive line doesn't even have time to breathe, let alone make an impact. Teams like Baltimore, Miami, and even San Francisco have adapted by using match zone concepts, reading the quarterback's eyes, rotating coverages after the snap, and confusing offenses into mistakes. It's smart, modern football. And Pittsburgh has run similar systems in the past with success. It's time to bring that style back. More zone, smarter rotations, fewer reckless blitzes that leave the middle of the field wide open. Rush 4, stay disciplined, and make the quarterback think instead of letting him react. Because when this defense plays intelligently, not just aggressively, it becomes the heartbeat of this team once again. So what do you think? Can the Steelers' defense bounce back and prove they're still elite? Stay with me. The next update dives even deeper into what could define this team's season. Let's talk about the real challenge ahead, because Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, and Josh Jacobs aren't exactly an easy trio to slow down. Green Bay's offense can move the ball fast when they find their rhythm. So if this Steelers defense can hold them to around 20 points, that would be a solid performance and a huge confidence boost moving forward. Now, one question I've seen a lot lately comes from Shannon, who asked, "Does Cam Hayward look unmotivated?" Honestly, I don't see it that way at all. Cam's one of those rare veterans who doesn't just play for the paycheck. He plays for pride. He's a leader, and leaders don't coast. Even in that game against Cincinnati, if you really watch closely, Cam was winning his battles up front. He beat his man several times. Quick hands, fast first step, but the problem wasn't effort. The problem was timing. Joe Flacco was releasing the ball in 2 seconds flat. No defensive lineman can make an impact when the quarterback barely holds the ball. If the secondary can hold their coverage just a heartbeat longer, those near sacks become game-changing plays. And when that happens, Cam's name starts showing up on highlight reels again, where it belongs. Now, another question came in from Interstellar Reaper, asking whether the Steelers should start trading away players to stock up on draft picks for 2026. Honestly, I don't think so. This isn't a rebuild situation. This is a retool situation. The Steelers still have the pieces to make a real run. The roster is talented, the core is strong, and the heart of this team still beats with belief. They just need to realign those puzzle pieces, tighten up the coverage, improve the chemistry, and rediscover that balance on both sides of the ball. Because when they finally do, the picture that comes together could be something truly special. Stay with me, because what comes next might surprise you. And it's something every Steelers fan needs to hear. When you really step back and look at it, the picture isn't perfect, but it's far from hopeless. The Steelers just need to bring their pieces back into alignment. The talent is there, the structure is there, and the potential is undeniable. It's just about fitting everything together the right way. Now let's talk about this idea of stockpiling even more draft picks. Pittsburgh already has 12, 7 of them within the first few rounds. That's a treasure chest of opportunity. You don't need to hoard more just for the sake of it. Sometimes, it's not about adding new pieces. It's about making the ones you already have work together. And when you're sitting at 4-2, leading the division, trading away players doesn't make much sense. This team isn't in sell mode. They're in build mode. They've got momentum, they've got heart, and they're still fighting for something real. If anything, I'd say the Steelers should be buyers, not sellers, heading into the trade deadline. Strengthen the weak spots. Give your defense some breathing room. Maybe bring in 1 or 2 impact players who can help right now. Because this isn't the time to look to 2026. This is the time to make a run. Now, Dominic Schrader, one of the longtime supporters, asked if I ever got that $100K steak dinner. And yeah, I did. It wasn't about the steak, though. It was about the moment. The sense that after years of hard work and loyal fans, something was finally earned and celebrated. That's what Steelers Nation is all about. Loyalty, grit, and celebrating every win, no matter how big or small. So while the team's puzzle might still be coming together, one thing's certain: the foundation is strong and the fire is still burning. Stay with me, because the next part digs into what could shape the Steelers' entire second half of the season. That dinner at Dakota Steakhouse. Let me tell you, it wasn't just about the food. Sure, the place was incredible. You ride an elevator down into this hidden, speakeasy-style spot with a waterfall and live piano music playing in the background. The atmosphere, the energy, it all felt special. But what really made it memorable wasn't the steak or the dessert. It was the moment. It was a reminder of what this community means. The support, the connection, the shared passion for this team. That's what makes Steelers Nation different. Nights like that just make you stop and appreciate how far this journey has come. Now, shifting gears, Craig asked an interesting question. How big of a contract could Calvin Austin III command this offseason? Well, it all depends on how he finishes the year. Calvin Austin is one of those players who's just waiting for that perfect opportunity to explode. He's fast, fearless, and incredibly versatile. He can line up inside or outside, stretch the field deep, and make defenders miss in space. The frustrating part? He hasn't been fully unleashed yet. The playbook hasn't given him enough chances to show what he can do after the catch. But every time he gets the ball in open space, especially on punt returns, you see flashes of something special. If this coaching staff starts using him more creatively, and he puts together a strong second half of the season, he could easily command a deal worth around $15 million per year. That's the kind of talent he has, quiet but electric. And honestly, I think Calvin Austin is one of the most underrated receivers in the league right now. He may not have the size, but he's got the heart, the drive, and the speed that makes defenders nervous. As for the trade deadline talk, Ollie asked whether the Steelers might chase someone like Calvin Ridley or go for a cornerback instead. Personally, I'm not sure that corner is the move right now, especially with how much money's already tied up at that position. The front office will have to think smart, not flashy, because at this point in the season, every move matters, and the Steelers know exactly what's at stake. Stay with me, because the next part could reveal what direction this team might take before the deadline. And it's something every Steelers fan needs to hear. When it comes to the cornerback situation, I don't think the Steelers need to make a panic move before the deadline. Brandon Echols has quietly been solid, disciplined, confident, and playing with heart. If someone's getting benched, he's earned his shot. Trading away draft picks for a short-term fix doesn't feel like the right play here. Names like Roger McCreary or Tariq Woolen might sound tempting, but ask yourself, are they truly upgrades right now? The difference isn't big enough to sacrifice future value. The Steelers need consistency, not chaos. Now, on the offensive side, there's been some buzz about Calvin Ridley, and that's interesting. Ridley brings elite route running, top-tier acceleration, and serious speed. He's not perfect. His hands can be inconsistent. But when he's locked in, he's a game-breaker. For a team looking to stretch the field and add another weapon to the mix, he could be the spark that reignites the offense. From Tennessee's perspective, it makes sense too. They're rebuilding, trying to get younger, cheaper, and more flexible. Moving Ridley could help them reset, and if Pittsburgh can make the right offer, that move could benefit both sides. Then there's the talk about Minkah Fitzpatrick. Some fans have wondered if a reunion could happen, but according to league rules, a player traded away in the same season can't be traded back to the same team until the next league year. So, as much as fans would love to see Minkah in black and gold again, it's simply not possible this season. Still, credit to Minkah. He's had a strong year in Miami, proving he can bounce back and lead from anywhere. He'll always be respected in Pittsburgh for what he brought to this defense. So now, as we hit the midway point of the season, here's the real question. Who's been the Steelers' MVP so far? Jaylen Warren and Aaron Rodgers have both made big plays, but maybe it's someone flying under the radar, the kind of player who's holding the team together when no one's watching. Drop your thoughts and keep the conversation going, because this story is still being written. The Steelers are in the fight, the season's heating up, and the best chapters might still be ahead. Stay with me, because the next few weeks could define everything. Here we go, Steelers.